everyone, welcome to another video. This is going to be an Expanding Fronts game. It's been a while since I've done a bit of Expanding Fronts content. Played a couple of these. This is probably one of the sort of better games that I've done there. Unfortunately not one of the new civs, but there are some changes to Naboo in Expanding Fronts where, to be honest, to me they seem pretty strong. You get your farm upgrades for free. Being a civ that's so good and versatile and like fast T4, being able to get there much quicker with like free farm upgrades, it just seems a bit strong. And we'll sort of see how that impacts the economy later. I think it's a really, really strong economic upgrade, to be honest, just because of the way that the game works. On this map we have lowish sort of food, 6 nerfs, some berries to grab up. It's like the odd dew back and such. It's precipice, so you can see there's just a river through the centre of the map. It's a sort of split map affair, sort of one side of the map for each teams. And the teams being, we've got League EUS player here playing in Purple Gungans. His teammate John the Late playing as the Trade Federation here in the yellow. And then my teammate, the legendary Fluffy Rabbit, the king of pummel speed. And he's playing the Resistance, one of the new civs in Expanding Fronts. As I say, there are 8 nerfs, 2 dewbacks, so sort of balanced food eco. I think there might have been more nerfs than that, but I think Big Fluffy Rabbit was sort of grabbing them all up from what I've seen before on this. Seems to be a lot here on the sides of the river, or the edges of the river, that is. Quite a few crossings here, 3 crossings for 2v2. So people typically just want to wall these off with prefab shelters, as you can see here. These ones are quite shallow ones as well. That's a sort of a 3 prefab job, but you can get 2 prefabs here, 2 prefabs here. And they have so much HP that that's just a huge amount of peace of mind. Lets people focus on just going like tech level 3, which is typically the sort of norm for this map. You can see the Trade Federation workers have changed in this. They've got like a sort of pit droid as theirs, and I think the TF worker went and joined the sort of Confederacy. The Confederacy got sort of split up into the Confederacy and the Geonosians, so the Geonosians sort of got their own civ as well. Grabbing up a couple of these Cadus, I think just because we needed a food processor. Or maybe not. Maybe there was more food. I can't imagine myself just making this for just 2 Cadus. It's not like me. I want to put these berries here in a food processor. So we're going to get some farms. And farm's going to be pretty strong for Naboo, just because we're going to get these upgrades for free all the time. As soon as we hit T2, as soon as we hit T3. And as I said, that's just a lot of extra food to be getting. And you're going to get like extra Nova from Holocrons as well. Kind of just everything that you would need to T4. On the other side of things, 2 carbons here for John. That one's kind of far away. All of League's ecos in sort of one area here. Looks quite safe. Double nursery. We're on the 1 nursery. Double nursery. That looks like John's only got 1 nursery as well. Looks like he's managed to wall this a bit and not actually finished it. The Rancor's finished off the worker, it would seem. A lot of Rancors are guarding the edges here. This worker maybe trying to wall off here. Letting Fluffy Rabbit know we're going to get the holocrons in case he tries to swipe them from us. I think we've got about 3 on our side here, have we? Those are Cadus. 1, 2, 3. Oh, quite close, like a sort of triangle around us. There's number 4, and there's number 5. So the other 2 on the other side of the map. That's good for us. So we're going to go Spaceport Jedi Temple. Just to grab up those hollows. Scout being annoyingly chased by another scout. Always the worst. Every time it lands a shot, you'll get an annoying warning from the game that you're being attacked. Tried to go and wall here, and yeah, Rancor. Great stuff. Not what you want. Padawan off on his way out, popping down the shops, gonna come back with a holocron. And lots of workers on Nova as well. Did think about just going like super fast air, but I thought it would be a bit basic bitch, but bit too hard on them. So I thought we'd just chill out a little bit and let people play the game. Because, like, to be fair, our wing isn't even T3 yet, and no troop centers, so if I could have about almost 4 fighters here by now. It'd be kind of cruel. So give them a bit of breathing room. Gonna grab up these hollows. Gonna get the air base now. Get another command center. That's just gonna feel super comfy, right? Rebuild these farms, but you know, we've got the upgrades for free already. No research time, no cost into it. Lots of food on these farms. Fluffy Rabbit Scout Idol there. And who knows what kind of strategies this man's up to. He's fighting a war that none of us know we're playing. He's protecting the borders. He's got some fishing on the go, he's got some frigates chilling out here. Some troopers on patrol, a sentry post that never quite got finished. Already getting the spaceport down. I'm too slow. I need to be quicker on my spaceport. Could be trading right now. Big brain. Getting that 81 Nova per journey. Let's get some anti-air troopers. And if we look around, we can see that John is preparing for air that's just not really coming. He's got like 4 anti-air mobiles out, but we're making Jedis instead. And I guess it's pretty likely that people would assume that you would just go air, right? Being Precipice, you're Naboo. We're going to go with the Knights here. We're going to drop them across the river. And we're going to waddle into our wing space here. And we're going to cause a bit of mayhem. Going to come in and just convert workers. Because it's basically every worker you convert, that's like a guaranteed worker kill instantly. And you can use them to bash down the turret. And Knights do so much damage to power cores. They just hate power cores. Turret's already at half health. And you're gonna need like a lot of strike mechs for like plus damage to kill these off. Or to drop just a fortress immediately and get a bounty hunter. Convert more workers. Kill the turret. Kill another turret. Not really much help from League's teammate at the moment. Spent a lot of res in these AA mobiles that are wandering around. Fluffy on the other hand is building these prefabs, creating his web of intrigue here, so you can see whatever is happening around his base. The workers try to repair the anti-air turret here. Making up a little bit of air to sort of follow this now. Once we've killed off the turrets. We've got a 9 worker gang here. As Raphael said to me, it's like they've turned on their master here. They're revolting. And when the strikes show up, what you want to do is you want to split your knights, sort of one per strike, and it makes it so uncomfortable for people to like sort of out micro. Might do it eventually, but it's going to slow down. It requires a lot more effort from them. And you can end up going in different directions, and then you can just wander one off and stuff like that. And it just keeps things going a lot longer than it should. Stole another worker here with this guy on 9 health. 16. I think it. Not sure if they regen or not. I thought he had like 9. Yeah, it's been cleaned up, but it's caused a lot of mayhem. And given us a lot of breathing room, right? And if you look at our res, we could totally just go T4 if we wanted. We build a research center. And we could just spaceport the rest of the resources, like we've got tons here. Between the 3 hollows, all the workers on Nova. These super upgraded farms as well, so comfy. And we're going to send some fighters out and just grab a few more workers here. While there's no turrets. And keep the pressure on. I'm not really looking to get much kills, I kind of just want them to like over-respond and make more turrets everywhere and stuff. It just slows them down. Gives me a lot more breathing room at home. You see John over here just sort of booming. Puppy Rabbit doesn't look like he's really done too much aggression. Managed to steal this holocron from their side, it looks like. Get harassed by this strike mech over here. He's got his own strike mechs. It's the medic. There's always a medic. Always a medic. And we're on our way to T4. Taking it very leisurely. Use a couple more command centers. And probably want some sort of forward here. Making some mech destroyers. We'll go for a very solid sort of ground Naboo game. The sound and the colours have changed on the MDs, not sure I like it. Just feels weird to me. Just gonna keep the fighters here just to support the army. Gonna turn this into a gate. Try and get onto their side of the map very quickly. So we don't get locked out on a crossing. I don't think they're really that ready for us, so. And with all that pressure that we've put on here, onto purple, on the league here, they shouldn't be able to contest us getting into a good spot. But they're still building all these prefabs around the edges here. Our fortress up, we've hit T4. That'll be us getting another free farm upgrade. Difficult to select the farm. 550 food. That is some good carbon efficiency. Just getting everything set up, taking it very slow. Very prepared for like T4 area. Anti-air batteries, anti-air mobiles. 2 fortresses in the base, 3 fortresses here in the base. I kind of thought like he was going to try and go like heavy destroyer droids or something memeish. Thought MDs would be very good against that. We've got a hole here now we can waddle across. Bring a cannon. Go off these sentry posts and maybe get some shields and stuff here. Fluffy Rabbit doing a bit of raiding here. Just have dropped some strike mechs across. Maybe using his transport ship. The mech destroyers are going to push those away very quickly. Use this air, do a bit of scouting, help us get this forward up. See, he doesn't really want to keep his army here, even though he's kind of got about the same amount of MDs at the moment. You know, with probably better upgrades. With 25 more health than mine. A bit more damage, but we get the shield up now. Gonna get another fortress. We are going to be sort of 2v1, it would seem, at least for the moment. There's a lot of units, but they all have very different roles in his base. The guys over here patrolling forever. So getting the fortresses up, maybe thinking about getting a bunch of cannons or some ACs and some crusaders and, you know, all the sort of good fortress units, maybe even bounty hunters. Since they don't really take much damage from MDs and you'll get more health on them if they upgrade that the Naboo get. So they can actually be like a decent sort of foot soldier. Need to remember I've got coffee. The AC going for a shot. Bam. Bit of damage on those units. And it's really nice when we're in like a sort of, you know, like a 2v1 spot here, getting sort of flanked from two angles. The AC can help us have a lot more control about when an engage happens. Give us a lot more time to stall on one side. Maybe even hold off a side entirely. See, Fluffy's managed to drop some units across here. He's got 3 transport ships. But strike mechs against MDs here, and these guys are just sort of drifting down the hill as they one-tap those strike mechs and kill them off. Got a fortress here on this side. And while that's happening, we've moved forward a little bit here. Got our cannons chipping away at the buildings. Our sort of strike mech MD combo just sort of sitting here. If he tries to take a big trade with us, we'll just move back into the shields. We just want to play defensive as Naboo, because we can't really throw units at them the same way. We don't have the same value out of the MDs. We use the ACs, use all the tools at your disposal, the fighters, the cannons. Put some assault mechs in here as well, just for a bit of like area of effect damage. And the biggest problem for like these two players here, League and John, is that they're just not like together, right? They've not met in the middle. They could get rid of these trees and then they could just sort of overwhelm this position, but if they're going to fight me one side, one at a time, they're going to struggle. Seems like a bad trade just now, but they do have the Crusaders coming in now, and they're going to do so well against this army comp. And while that's happening, unfortunately, fortresses are just getting chipped away by cannons that we can't really kill off just now. So we're kind of trying to just wipe this army from John. See, the Crusaders are going to tank so much damage for the MDs to just finish off these mech destroyers of John's. And we can maybe go off and get some power cores and stuff, and see, he was making a destroyer droid. It's maybe just for the Crusaders now though. They're really expensive, the destroyer droids. Looks like we're going to lose another fortress here. See, the League doesn't want to really push in until he's killed off these forts. We got some cruisers here as well. Another great tool at our disposal is Naboo. These destroyers really annoying. TF obviously got very good navy as well. I don't really want to make too much navy. I've just sort of made these just to chip away. Like if any shields get, you know, like placed down in these spots, like nearer sort of forward, we can just kill them off with the cruisers. Basically just much safer cannons. And as we lose that fortress, we've got League coming in now, trying to overwhelm us on this flank. But there's not really much on this side, and we've built 4 on this side now as well, just to stall. As we turn our attention to the purple Gungan player. Not really too much. A little bit of a fight here with some strike mechs from John and Fluffy Rabbit, but not too much going on. There's the classic pummel. There it is. But while that's going on, we're fighting here, and some strike mechs coming to supplement the army for League here. But again, if they were just sort of together in the middle and just rallying all their forces together, they both have like amazing mechs. I haven't quite got the health upgrades yet for League. He's obviously had a very like worse eco because of everything that happened in the T3. So he's done quite well to get a lot of units out, but you would need to be getting that health upgrade soon. Because both of these players could have like huge health on their mech destroyers. And it kind of just beat me in that regard, right? Just tons of units flanking the shields here. Got another 2 fortresses here. Some cruisers, which is annoying. Hard for us to get to. Gonna build a wall here just to stop any destroyers getting made by John when I'm like busy with this. Because he tends to, if he sees he's got cruisers or ACs and things like that, from all the times that I've faced him, he tends to kind of tunnel on those things. And he'll like keep throwing like destroyers at your boats, or he'll keep trying to walk A-mobiles at your air cruisers and stuff. So I need to really pay attention to preventing those, and this is just a good way to actually not have to even deal with it in the first place, if I just make a wall. And you see we're sort of broken this position, and we're getting into his eco now. And we've done a good bit of damage to purple here, so we'll be feeling a lot better. We are slowly losing our fortresses though, which really sucks. And the only way for me to really deal with these cruisers now is to actually just get Jedi out in the field and just convert them. That's why we started building Jedi. Telling Fluffy he's got idols here, but he never really ever grabs them, I don't think. Raiding with some of his anti-air troopers. Oh, he's getting some strike mech raids done here. Killing off some workers, that's nice. And you see, the Jedi are going to convert their cruisers. Kill off the power core. A lot of big mounty switch here for League. It's bad for us because we don't really have any air just now. We have to make some more, I think. Maybe some strike mechs. I think he might have deleted his cruisers. Stop me converting the rest. Big mounty attack now. John trying to come in here at the same time. Looking a bit dicey for us here. Did get some strike mechs there though. We have the 2 shields. Some artillery coming forward. For the Jedi and into melee form. Finish off these mounties. Start converting the units, distract the fire. But it looks like he's got purge now. So it's just 3 kills. Not too bad. And we get to hold our position here. Weather that storm. Another Fluffy Rabbit skirmish on the way here. Ping the idols for him again. So they're testing the waters about having another trade, but again, like imagine if they just kill all these trees, huge flank. I think that's just what you need. You just need to overwhelm this position. I'm just going to come forward here and just decimate the sort of unit count. We've got all these Jedi now. I can even send them into melee mode to take a trade here. While things are a little bit quiet on this side, he's built up a fortress, he's put troopers in it. Not really a huge amount of space to get units at us just now. Keep these numbers down. And just try always stay ahead of both these players, stay in a very strong position. Fortunately, I think I've lost like 4 or 5 fortresses already. So I've only really got 1 at home now. So I can't really get as much Crusaders or cannons as I would like. In hindsight, I probably should have just built them all in my base since I'm Naboo. Because just losing them really hurts. When there's so many good things I could build out of them. I could even just go like 3 ACs or something. Misclicking here. Oh, you can get 10 units in these. Was that always the case? I can't even remember. It's not really a mechanic that you ever use. Jedi walking to his doom. You're starting to get a trade eco going. Because we need a hell of a lot of Novas, Naboo. Just to make all these powerful supporting units. See, we're relying on the assault mechs. Get a bit of health on them. They do some decent bonus damage to everything. They sort of really supplement the army well. And they're good when there's these big groups of Mounties running at us. And against these troopers, which League seems to be tacking into here. Maybe to deal with the Jedi. A few more units from Fluffy. The Pummel gonna go for the wall. It's an artillery switch here for John, but he's probably gonna keep hitting this this wall because these guys love to hit buildings. I keep trying to kill this fortress, but he's just always repairing it. Must have infinite ore. Oh, the AC. AC is bad for us. We don't have any fighters at the moment, really. That AC is just getting free damage. Well, we're trying to deal with this flank. A lot of bounty hunters down here. Strikes, artillery. I'm gonna have to pull right back into our shields here. We do have a good army comp. We've got a lot of assault mechs here, doing some good bonus damage. And keeps hitting the wall here as well with his artillery. And still the AC at large though. We don't have enough air to deal with it because he's got anti-air mobiles and stuff behind it. So we need a good bunch just to make sure we get the kill. And got the strikes coming in here now as well. Not the strikes, the Mounties coming in here. Gonna have to use the Jedi in melee mode to deal with them. Don't quite have as much air or strike mechs as we would want right now. A few more units from Fluffy just sort of coming in here, maybe helping out. He's managed to push through that wall now, putting some pressure here on John. He does have the fortress here. And his production's all sort of here as well, so it's very easy for him to rally some MDs into this army. As it just sort of pummels and some mechs, a few Mounties. Not too much to really trouble him. I kind of feel like he should have just sort of killed off Fluffy there early though, rather than have him be annoying to him all game. Then they could properly focus on fighting me. Another AC here, they're proving so effective. Must have maybe managed to get that one, the other one. Some artillery just sitting here, so we're just going to go and convert a bunch of them. See, that's like 5 kills. AC just walking up to our army and shooting. Should probably have more air. Kind of like population capped. Oh, assuming I must have just missed the strike mechs from John here. He threw some strike mechs into Rico. That's why I've got all these MDs on patrol in my base, I think. We lost some workers to that and killed them off. Kind of rebuilt everything though. Still got 200 workers. Jedi are just, they like to run into danger, it would seem. When you look away. You need to be careful of that. They have like a good metal line of sight or something, and they're just always too fighty. I think they lost like 7-8 Jedi there. Feels bad. These guys got their cargo freighters, which I think are like stronger than the hovercrafts. I think I, for one, just sort of forgot they existed. But I also didn't feel that I could even spend any time thinking about building them in the first place. I believe I just grabbed all these spaceports and put them on like Hotkey 5 and just made cargoes when I could. And we've got a bit of a skirmish down here while things are quiet. Gonna try and steal some turrets. Kill off some of the eco here that's been built. Because a lot of his stuff's just sitting around the fortress, but it seems to have enraged him and he's running forward towards us. Fortress doing some damage, but John at the minute sort of busy killing off some of Fluffy Rabbit's army. Rather than able to flank this position. AMD's running into the eco here. They're going to get Mounties rallied onto them. The army's a bit disjointed here and it's not within a shield generator at the moment. I think he maybe tried to build a shield here, but the cruisers are going to say no. And we managed to steal a couple of the turrets here, and I'm just going to maybe run these Jedi through if we can. One's made it. Maybe try and convert some spaceports or something. John's sort of turning his attention to Fluffy Rabbit at the moment. Leaving League on his own here against us. Getting some assault mechs out, but we can just convert those. It might feel a little bit oppressive when I'm making assault mechs, but I'm converting your assault mechs. Kind of sending the message that only I can have assault mechs. Try and convert the spaceport here. It doesn't seem to be the one that matters. It's decoy spaceport. Of air cruisers here. Won't be having none of that either. Kill those off. This fortress is still alive. It's been repaired so much. Up to 7,200 health now. All these upgrades he's gotten for it. Cruisers just being so annoying all the time. Got 19 range on those. John had a fight with the rabbit here, but never actually put him down. He's just made him angrier. The rabbit's enraged timer will go off soon enough if he doesn't kill him off. He's got these heavy mech destroyers now. Heavy artillery. Some grenadiers here from TF. We just converted some assault mechs here. We are running low on units at the moment, and I think most of the issue here is just that I've got too many workers. Probably 198. We need more army supply. You know, like 2v1 people. Otherwise, we just won't have enough units to do it. We need lots of bodies here in these shields. You can see that these artillery just keep hitting the walls. So comfy. Fluffy Rabbit just running into like melee mode here with these artillery, with his mech destroyers. Messing up their AI, I think. I'm thinking he maybe put like guard on the shield here or something. Just because of where they like ran to. Didn't really get much done there, kind of died off. But it's bought us a little bit of time here while we've got League running in here and then both trying to break the shields. A few repeater troopers coming in here from the rabbit. We need a lot of strike mechs and fighters to do all these mounties. We're converting the assault mechs, just trying to stall as long as we can and restabilize here because we seem to have lost a lot of our standing army. Lost the power core, the shield generators are no longer active, and it's looking a little bit bleak here. A lot of army here for League. Some good units here for John. He's not really being attacked with this army by Fluffy here. He's got enough units in position ready for that. And they're starting to encroach on this position. Maybe thinking that I'm going to have to go back across the river at this point. So much here, but John pulling back at the moment. I'm not too sure why. Got an AC here. And we don't really have anything on the side now. Give this air cruiser. And I know he's going to tunnel on the AC quite a bit with his A's. Maybe use that to my advantage. Some boats showing up here. But we've lost our shields, losing our shipyards. Losing some of our wall here. Some Jedi running to their death. Try to give myself a bit more space because there's only like a tiny little bit to rally the units through here from the mech factory. It's really annoying. Yeah, it looks like we've been bopped out of their side of the map here. And Fluffy taking a trade here with his Mounties, killing off a lot of mech. Just blowing them up here with these advanced mounted troopers. And we're starting to push in again. We've got some Crusaders to go and tank. We've got some assault mechs. The units of Fluffy kind of griefing us a little bit here, sort of blocking the gate entrance. And I don't really want half this army to get stranded from the other half, or need them all together here. And it seems John's pulled all of his units back again. Get half of these across. I'm going to have to ping this out to Fluffy here and tell him to, because he's completely blocked it. Tell him in, please. Goes in across. We can try and just get everything in now and reclaim this area, get our shields back up again. It's a good moment for Fluffy to run in here and just kill the spaceports off. Like a lot of MDs here, and he's just sort of frontlining for our assault mechs now. He's coming good here in the end. And big army here for John with these assault mechs. These Mounties try to sort of frontline here. But the Jedi just going to walk forward and convert all of the assault mechs. And they're just going to blow up. A few bounty hunters here and stuff, but like the Crusaders are here just to tank. This fortress still going strong. We're going to leap onto this army, I think, while it's overextended, and try and push this position back, maybe kill off the shield. And we kill off that. Big army for Fluffy here, who just walks it in. And getting on top of the production now. Try to kill off the power cores and stuff. And just sort of go for the jugular here. We never really rebuilt the shields or anything, we're just surging everything forward now into John's base here. I got a lot of pressure on the map now that Fluffy Rabbit, look at him moving. Moving at pummel speed. There's got to be a pummel somewhere in this army. Lots of cool Naboo mechs pushing in. Bit of a sorry here from League with units. Just run the Crusaders and just go and hunting for like power cores on production and stuff when you get on top of your opponent like this. Make sure they can't reinforce. Kill them so quickly. On the spaceports now. That's kind of it. Looks like we've broken them. So it's quite a fun game there. I do think that the early game, let's call them GG there. I do think that the early game for Naboo is pretty damn strong. It's a really big eco upgrade, that I think, the free farm upgrades. And I got another game I'll go into as well, just because it's actually like playing one of the newer civs, just because I haven't done much expanding front stuff. So while I'm here, we've got the Imperial Remnants here, and we're playing Pocket. As you can see, I've got 2 wings here. A few nerfs to put in the nursery. And the map's swamps, so it tends to be a lot of food on this, but it can be very uneven. You look at how all the fish have spawned. You look in the back here, Mr. Gungan, Larry here, John Malate. So many fish. You get like a really, really good mid-game here with a few shipyards and a ton of utility trawlers. And just everywhere as well. Barely any like sea predators for them either. Just good old fishing. And look at all the shore fish as well. Even if you didn't want to like go utility trawlers, you could just shore fish for your workers. We don't really have much of that. I've got this sort of pond here, I guess, but nothing like safe in the back or anything like that. So it can be quite imbalanced, but it is a fun map. And we've got this Jew back that we're going to eat just now. This is a Jew, Falam, 8 nerfs. And Imperial Remnants seem to be sort of a defensive civ. They get like buildings build quicker. I think defensive buildings are constructed 20% faster. So if we were going to have a civ where we could do like turret rushes on and stuff, it would be these guys. The ore deposits last 20% longer, so you get 20% more ore. And then they've got like temple unit techs and stuff, so you can rely on like conversions and stuff like that. And they get this really cool upgrade for their mech destroyers that make the attack beam sort of pierce the units behind your target, which is insanely good against troopers. And probably too much. It seems really strong, the amount of damage output that you can put in there. Kind of disregards like shield advantages as well for like the troopers, and kind of stops them trading into mech destroyers at all, really, and probably makes mech destroyers a bit too versatile. The rabbit here hunting some fambas. Hunter here, he's playing the Black Sun, one of the new civs. And these are the Geonosians we talked about. The Gungans here for John. And we've got the Sand Consortium here for the Lucky Ashman. And then we got the Republic, the New Republic rather, for our League US player here. And there's something really off about these workers. And I'm starting to think it's maybe just the colour, the fact that they're like white. Because their model's just so complicated, whereas everything else is very cylindrical. You know, it's quite easy to see like the contrast, because it's all about the player colours, you know, applied to these units. I think maybe just because the base is white, the player colours don't contrast too well with all these limbs and stuff. And a lot of the other things just seem to be very dark, and then it has the player colour applied and the contrast really well. Is that 2 workers? They're both just stuck here. Efficient. But yeah, I just feel like there's too many moving parts here. Maybe if it was a bit darker, maybe see the colours better. I'm not too sure though. Really hard to get these to look just right, I think, with how they are. I do think I've seen these things in like other Star Wars games or movies or something like that. I'm familiar with these kind of little spider dudes. Maybe they were in the Mandalorian or something. I can't remember. I think I've seen them before though. So we're off to T2, and I think our sort of game plan that we were thinking here was we're gonna make like gonna make fighter. We're gonna go T3. We're gonna make fighters because we're sort of pocket here. It's the easiest way to sort of keep an eye on things. But we're gonna make like defensive turrets in case we get like strike mech raided. I think that would be kind of viable to play that way, right? Just because you can justify it, but you get the extra ore, you can build them quicker, and they would feel good to sort of upgrade. So we need to move our workers around here and get some more farms, I think, because we don't have enough food yet. I just hit T2. See Lucky Ashman doing a bit of a raid here with these Mounties, putting the pressure onto Hunter here. Done some damage to the power core, but he's ran away from it and he's just repaired it now. And I got this trooper recruit running at him. This little blaster pistol here. And that's kind of the end of that Mountie rush, right? It's going a bit grim for looking at. He's built this troop center so far forward. If this gets overwhelmed, he just can't defend himself. He needs to have it a lot closer to his own base, I think. And look down at what John's up to here. He's got the 2 shipyards, so he's going to get that crazy economy, right? And he gets these shorefish. And I do believe that they actually, finally, somebody has introduced the idea that foragers and shorefishers actually... Oh, it's even foragers as well. Shorefishers, 15% faster. So shorefishers are already really, really good. This is a really strong eco upgrade. Foragers faster as well is actually pretty impactful. Gungans OP. No longer the laughing stock of the civs. Nah, they're always pretty strong. It's kind of a meme to hate on the Gungans. Maybe just because they're Glurg workers, so it just looks so pathetic. But yeah, those are some strong eco upgrades. Not really much to this. I guess you get ore though, so it's like more of a late game payoff, right? I mean, ore is pretty important by the end of the game. You're making shields and stuff. But I do think that's a nice fun way to play with that bonus is to like make some turrets and stuff. So heading off to T3 now. I think probably speed it up. I hate just sitting waiting for the tech level. Very little to talk about. We've got League here who we haven't looked at too much. He's just sort of chilling out. Looks like he's maybe done a rush, or he's away to do a bit of a rush here. He's built like 5 troopers, got the range for them, and he's just sending them off to John, who's just sort of T3ing with his boats and stuff. But it might catch him unawares, and he might lose a couple of workers. Certainly a storm he can weather quite well though, because he's already ahead of everyone in workers. If we just take a quick look here, you can see he's going to have the highest worker count, so he's got 10 more than we do. And we've just hit T3. That should all be boats there. You know, look at how much more res he's going to have. Like 1,000 carbon on us here. 500 food. We've got more Nova and ore, but it's just because we're prioritizing those things. So there's a big eco bonus, and this could even snowball even further if we get more boats and a few more shipyards in better positions. And that worker going to get gunned down here by this rush. But at the same time, on the other side of the map, we got Hunter, who's just rushed Lucky Ashman back here. Sort of revenge for the Mounties. And we did talk about how overextended this troop center is, and you can just sit here and kill off the power core. But you could actually be in the base here, just killing all the workers, and it's given a lot of time for Lucky Ashman to just fully wall his base now. So despite making this mistake, that probably should have got him killed, because Hunter didn't go in and just sort of kill off his workers and sat on the power core. He's missed the opportunity to actually outright kill him. Or so you would think. But there is actually a hole in this wall up here. I do think a few workers have died here from these troopers. Try to kill off some of the boats. But we can see that Hunter just walks straight into the base here. And it must feel a little bit bad for Lucky Ashman here when these fighters are flying over his base, because I'm actually putting the pressure onto Hunter here on the wing, since I know that he's still T2 because he's rushing. And being one of the better players on his team, I do need to put the pressure on him here. If I have any chance of sort of winning this game. But it seems that a lot of these troopers have just sort of died to the troop center, the command center, and the turret fire. And we're just going around here and trying to snipe workers. I see the strike mechs are going to run at League EOS player. You can hear that noise right now, which, as I was moving my camera around, I thought I could hear a Geonosian warrior killing my workers somewhere, but it's actually these trooper recruits that seem to have actually walked across the map here and killed a lot of workers of Leagues here. I just missed that. You can see a lot of corpses here, which I'm assuming are his workers. Looks like a little box on the top of them. These strikes doing a bit of pressure here. Just going around grabbing workers where we can. It's a good spread of turrets here. Means that League, if necessary, can hide his workers inside them, make sure he doesn't lose them in that regard. Yeah, it's not looking good for his eco right now. He didn't really ask us for any help. Could send him an MD right now if he asked. We've got turrets up. We're just waiting for someone to come and harass us. But they're not really. It's all for naught. But we get to see them in action. And feel, you know, like galaxy brain. Because I built these defensive turrets. And in the end you just feel like a fool if no one attacks them. Gonna have to get rid of this because it's psychologically damaging. Thinking that you're being geoed all the time. Don't know why they made that the same noise. But I hate it. I hate it so much. It did turn out that the fighters for this server actually is slower. Oh, is it just the mech? I thought it was the air. God, I could really feel it as well. So, oh yeah, it is the air. Yeah, defend. No. It's just the mechs. I feel like Raphael's lied to me. But they are slower. I swear they're slower. Am I on drugs? I swear they move slower. They feel like they move slower. They look like they move slower. Oh, that is a good thing. Where's the... Has anyone else built a fighter? I need to look at the unit speeds. 2.09. Somebody build a fighter, please. I need to know. God, they drift so slow. Maybe it's this game speed. Put on 1.3. Someone please build a fighter. Strike mech harassing the workers here. Wow. Raphael told me when I was playing this that they move slower, and it's just it's ingrained itself into my brain. I was convinced they weren't moving slower. I thought I was getting more time to micro things when I was moving them around. Back when it just says mechs, right? Mechs move 5% slower. %5 is a bit of a negligible amount, I suppose. I'm gonna come back in here. It's been a while since we've oppressed Hunter. I believe it's because he's T3 now. I kind of want to make him to just try and get him to make turrets everywhere. Rabbit sending more troops here to hunt to League, rather. He's gonna get these holocrons. He's on the Knights. It's what we did to him in the last game. We hit him with the Knights. It's He wants to pass on the misery and build knights and attack someone with them. Get a bit of catharsis. Yeah, gonna have to build the anti-air turret here. The trooper's not enough of a deterrent. It's a weird looking mech, right? It's kind of small, but the same size as the strike mechs. I thought it was a strike mech. I feel like they should have repaired that. It's a bit off. It looked like they were like tasked to as well, but their models are just weird. I don't know. Meanwhile, we've got these medium turrets, but nobody's attacked us. There's the cool looking Imperial Remnant MDs. Lucky Ashman doing a bit of harassment here to the rabbit as we're going round with the strike, the air, the fighters. Catch all these workers, I'm not sure where they were going. Make sure to kill them all for maximum tilt. They seemed important. They had a mission somewhere. This one's going to sneak past though. The rabbit grabbing up this holocron now. Okay, Ashman raiding Hunter here. Floppy rabbit looking alright, he's got some boats and stuff. Long range shore fishing here. Some Mounties. A lot of anti-air troopers out in the middle of the map. Doing a bit of scouting of John down here. And we're on our way to T4. Our economy's looking okayish. We feel quite secure. We've got our turrets and stuff if things go wrong. And I think we just need to get out in the map and get some ground units down. Put some pressure on the people now. We've done all we can to sort of keep them down, keep their eco down, and make sure that we boom better than them. And if we just need to put the pressure on them, we could win out. So that'll be our plan here. Still lots of these boats in here. I don't think he's ever really made like enough to properly like munch up all these fish though. We'd like to see like shipyards here just to make them more efficient, right? So they've got a closer hand in destination. And then a bunch here on this sea, and then a bunch here. Get some huge value out of it. I'm gonna get these guys to fast fire, I think. That's about it though. They don't get shields. They do get armor for some reason, which is an interesting addition. You see the League here has just caught this forward. Oh, I can see the speeds. Oh, they are at normal speed. God, they felt slower to me. They have a higher speed now because they're fast fighters. But no, they don't seem to go slower. It just feels like they do. Probably just an unfamiliar character model moving around. And we're just running around killing workers where we can. Any hole we find in the defences. Keep the players down, keep scouting for us as well, because we want to keep people busy while we get our own forward up. And it's really great that the League's caught this here, because it's stopped us getting stuck in our base or anything like that. We can walk past it and get our own forward behind it. It's John hitting T4 here. We'll just have a quick look at where we are in terms of like the economies and worker counts. So I really just pulled ahead of everyone here, just during all this, just by keeping making workers and harassing them. I'm getting a lot of kills here. These knights being really annoying. Great for us, just buying us so much time. And that's the end of that one. Had to be restored. Got the other part here. So getting these mech destroyers. Going to be getting built out of these mech factories. We've got Hunter here, try to get a fortress up. I think we just stopped that with the air. But not for long, it's halfway built. And Lucky Ashman, probably not too ready for this. Got some strike mechs here. There's quite a few mech destroyers. I'll speed up a little bit. Lucky just going to run his strike mechs in here and just harass. Rather than use them to hold the front of his base. A lot of mounties here though. He gets them on top of the strikes. They're just kind of exploding. He does win out in the end though when they start focusing them down. That's a really cool mech destroyer. It just looks like that looks like the Scorpion tank from Halo kind of. But it's just like if you made it like a sort of gravity tank. Don't really have much upgrades for it. Oh, taking a lot of damage. Or is this the classic Lucky Ashman not getting range for his units, but getting the damage and the armor first? Classic. Let's see, we're going for the range. Range first. And that's that purple laser, so they got that upgrade. And they've got this pierce damage. You can see we've got that one at half health there. Really strong. You can see they're hitting about here behind the target. I'm just going to fire out tons of MDs, keep it simple. We know that they're strong for this serve. Just make MDs and cannons, and we'll keep our fighters here just to support them. Got that fortress up here for Hunter. Got this gladiator droid out. A unique unit for Black Sun. I think when it dies, its torso gets up off the ground and continues fighting. It's not a really good forward here for John. Quite exposed out here on the edge. And we just sort of grabbed this position, got a shield up. I was worried that Lucky maybe crumbles a bit quickly here. A lot of units out here for Hunter, but pull back. I thought we'll just focus on winning here, and then we'll take it from there. So we've got the cannon pressure now. They can't really be touched. This carbon's actually like just huge for defending them. And there are really two routes to me, and there's no air to worry about. More strike raids from Lucky, just sort of ignoring that he's being encroached on by this army. And just keeps raiding. These workers just bashing down these buildings. They're gonna get it too. Oh yeah, that was definitely a glurg kill. See this massive thing of trees, and it looks like it's just gonna hide behind it, so build an AC, I'm just gonna attack ground and make a path through. rather than walk through these annoying chokes on the side. And now we can throw all the Night Destroyers forward, bring the cannons, and start lighting up his base here. Again, Lucky just running past Hunter with his units and just going to harass. It's almost like he's saying, yeah, keep attacking me. I'm just gonna go kill your workers. These MDs looking strong now, sort of nearly fully upgraded, just missing their armors. And a couple of Jedi coming in here from League. Hunter really getting in here at Lucky Ashman's base, but we started coming over and trying to help. And look at all these units getting hit. Like, I think this is just so strong. Way too strong. Troopers are usually a unit you throw against MDs because they do quite well, like cost effective. Not like a direct counter, I guess, but it still just seems that they're trading way too well into these. Because it almost makes it look like they're fighting Strike Max. You can see those Black Sun Gladiator droids getting up off of the ground. And these guys, Colossal Gladiator droids. But the MDs are kind of a counter to them. So they're not doing much. These Night Sister Hunters don't look very good against these guys either. I think the way to go would be Grenadiers and your own MDs. And all this base looking dead. Saved Lucky Ashman here. He's still just raiding people. League here just converting all the buildings from John. He gets right back up. It's like the Black Knight in Monty Python. And yeah, I think we've won this game.
Engines activated.
See the Night Mothers coming in here, converting some units. I think whenever you play something like this, like Expanding Fronts, you know, it being a mod with lots of different stuff, just find one thing that the stuff's good at and take it from there. Just spam those units rather than try to jump into making a bunch. See these guys doing really good. They're like Sith Masters, these Night Mothers. So they can go invisible as well, they can go back. From out the Sith Knights with their extra armor, which the Imperial Remnant get. And they can build them really quickly. A lot of troopers getting thrown out here with the Night Mothers frontlining, converting important units. Hunter's final hold on this position. We try to throw some strike mechs and some Sith Knights here. Heavy strike mechs, which are really good against troopers. They do quite well against these Night Mothers as well. A few of them try to rally into their deaths here though. The rally point probably set here when they were built. We can send in these knights to sort of frontline for us here. Convert some troopers and be annoying. While the strike mechs do some damage. Maybe not the best against the Civ though. I think we've got bonuses to killing Jedi when they're troopers. They've got a tech that does that anyway. They are just 6+1 though, these repeaters, so they're not doing a lot of damage at all. Since they've got such a high fire rate, you do want to get those all the attack upgrades you can. Got these cool looking Janissary dudes, these heavy troopers, the way they fire. Look like the AoE 2 Janissaries. And the players are going to call it GG there, and that'll be the end of the game. And yeah, that was my recent Expanding Fronts games. I hope you've enjoyed that content. I'll try and do more of that in the future if I'm ever playing it. I think we're waiting to get working on Voobly without ever whining at people saying that they're cheating or something like that, because I think it had some problem with cliff assets or something like that. But yeah, I do have fun playing it. I don't think it's too different from the base game. I don't think there's anything egregiously imbalanced. I think the strongest civs are still going to be like the Empire and the Rebels anyway, so it's kind of a good starting point for having the game stay sort of balanced. But yeah, if you like the content and you're not, subscribe to the channel. Please consider subscribing. Like the video. We'll try to get more videos out as we can. You know, at least a few per week. Probably going to be playing a bit of Diablo 4, which comes out sort of later tonight for early access. Which might distract me a little bit, but I'll keep trying to get the videos out as well. So take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.